Welcome to Emuna is Our Future with creative inner real light. What does it mean to have that inner real light, that creative energy that exists in our world today, 2020 coming up? Would you believe? Who would imagine we're reaching this date in the world, in the calendar of Hanukkah 2019, 5780. Unbelievable energy is entering the world from within and beyond us. It's a tremendous opportunity for everybody to tap into this power within, and it creates a tremendous creative warmth and light that lifts up our soul to a whole new level. Emuna is something very bifnim, very inside, and the menorah is connected to that concept, as Rav Shalom Arush spoke about on Emuna Tour 2019. He spoke about how the face, the ponim, is connected to bifnim, to inner, to the idea of ponim means inner. So in other languages, when you say face, it doesn't mean inside. But in Hebrew, in Lashon Kodesh, in our holy tongue, when you say ponim, Pnei HaMenorah, the face of the menorah, the face of a person, you're talking about that inner aspect. And that inner aspect comes out through our face, through the menorah, the light of the Oresh HaMashiach, the hidden light that was put into the Torah and hidden in the light of the menorah that comes out every year, Hanukkah. It's a tremendous creative energy that's in the world right now, both within our souls, in the menorah, in the Torah. Right now we're reading about Yosef Asadik. We already transitioned with Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, the imahos and the avos, our mothers and our fathers. We came together as our team, and now we're entering into the Shiftei Kah, into the 12 tribes in the Torah, in the Parshias of Vayeshev, and etc., where we're heading right now. We're with Yosef, with Yehuda, the children of Yaakov, and there's a tremendous light in the world that is being developed, but it's all within. Because what do we see in reality? How does seemingly reality, how does it seem? It seems like it's a very dark time, a very challenging time, very painful time. There's tremendous Eurydice, which means to go low. Things are going low. Yosef's going down into Mitzrayim, into Egypt, into the restraints. And Yehuda is going down into the business world and all the struggles that come with, say, with politics or with things of challenge. And there's this whole reality going on. And how does a person feel at such a time? He feels like, oh my God, like this is overwhelming. You know, personally, like I came back from London last week and everything just came like whoa, there's challenges, there's obstacles to going ahead, and that challenge, and then it continues this week with, you could feel like, wow, but what do? You go ahead and slowly you start to go through the story of the week, and you read the Parshias, you read about Yosef going down into Egypt, and slowly how he becomes an Ish Matzliach, and he's successful, he's a successful man, a man of success, of Atzlacha. It's one of the only times that we see such an idea of Ish Matzliach, and it's by Yosef Asadik, the righteous man Yosef. He is someone who's Yud Sof. He brings into the end this light from above. He brings it into the everyday, practical, real life. And he's coming from a place of inner light, that inner joy, that inner happiness that comes, this idea of the tzaddik, the righteous person. He has that connection that no matter where he goes, he's connected to Hashem, he's connected to God, he's connected to spirituality, he's connected to his soul, he's connected to his purpose, his values, his goals. All the things that we've been speaking about in Emuna is Our Future classes since we started together again in summertime, and went all the way through the Emuna Tour with Rav Shalom Arush, Shlita, and all the other Rabbonim we have in our program. Rav Yonatan Galed, thank God he's got his Emuna series, check it out, Universal Garden of Emuna, and Rav Elgrod, Dain Elgrod, and the Rabbanit, and all the different people that are speaking on our channel, Gedalia Fenster, and please God, many more guests. We have this energy of the inner light, the inner Emuna, the soul, the story of the soul coming out now in the Parshias and coming out now in the time of Hanukkah. There's light. Personally, I'm very involved, thank God, with the creative aspect. I work with a lot of creatives like Nissim Black and new bands like Nuriel and Isaac and Rubenstein and YM There's a long list. You can check it out in Unity Inspires projects. It's one of my side projects I do. But my goal is to bring it together with the Emuna tour. So creative people like Nissim Black and musicians and artists and singers, their stories are so amazing, and their talent with music combined. And it's something which we saw Sukkot with Rav Orish and Nissim Black together in the Sukkah, in the Simchas Beis HaShreva. We saw the Simcha, the joy, and we see it again throughout the year. Remember, Nissim Black's rabbi is Rav Shalom Orish. That's who he goes to for advice. And he was recently in a documentary. They didn't say the Rav Orish's name, but it's important to mention that the person advising him to go and put this music out there is Rav Shalom Orish. And it's amazing that Nissim Black has been given that go-ahead as someone who can shine into the music industry, the mainstream world of inspiration, of creativity. I personally grew up in that world. That was my background. That is still something very close to my heart. And even in the mainstream world, thank God, there is still some music, still some people out there who are really real and raw. An example, there's someone who I don't usually encourage listening to mainstream music, but there's someone called NF. Someone who's really raw, and his lyrics and vocals and his intensity is very real, and it's making waves in the music world and the rap world and the hip-hop world and the mainstream industry. There's new light. And actually the person who recommended me the first time was actually Nissim Black, because he was in America and speaking to people in the industry, and this was an up-and-coming act. So now we're seeing that growing and growing, and that creative light, even in the world out there generally, is coming out through raw emotions, through struggles, through pain, through real hardships, and that coming from that is creating light in the world in general. And the goal is to realize that when we, as a Jewish people, we light a menorah, and we do it in every single place nowadays, thanks to people like Chabad. We have shows, we have events, we have menorah lightings in the whole world. And everyone now, through the internet, can tap in, through innovation, can tap into our Emuna podcast, our Emuna YouTube channel, our Emuna Facebook and Instagram, even TikTok. Like I said, it's gone a bit viral. We have this Emuna light, and with Chabad and all these other organizations that we're all happy to partner with and unify with, we have the opportunity of all these creative lights to shine out that light. So then when we have in the Parsha, in the Torah, which is eternal, and we hear about a Yosef Asadik who's going down into the restraints, into Egypt, into the most intense exiles, a young teenager, 17 years old, with all the challenges that brings. You know, I have a son and daughter near to that age, and I see, even in our spiritual protected environment in Jerusalem, we still see that there's still challenges that's seeping in, and everyone has to go through in a real way. But it's amazing, all of us have that power to understand from these parshas that even though there seems to be a yerida, a downfall in some level, really it's all, as it says in Rabbi Nachman's Svarim, that the yerida is sarach aliyah. It brings us to aliyah. It brings us to going up. And then all the going down in this parsha, like taking the menorah and putting it down in the 10 tefachim, in the lowest aspects of your home. It's the only mitzvah we really do, other than Sukkot, when we completely go into the mitzvah, but it's the only mitzvah where we take a mitzvah and put it down. It's a mitzvah d'Rabbanan, a mitzvah of the rabbis, and we light it in the lowest place. It's actually the 620th mitzvah of the Torah, because there's 613 mitzvahs of the Torah and 7 mitzvahs d'Rabbanan, and the 620th is Chanukah. This is the last mitzvah that the Rabbanim added, as the 7 mitzvahs d'Rabbanan added to the 613 as their power they had in that time to commemorate the miracle of Hanukkah. And we're going with that. It's gematria Kesser, this crown, which is actually the highest part of a person. We're taking this crown, this Panei Menorah, this face, this light, and we're coming from within, and we're bringing it down to the lowest places, the places where we have to elevate, like on Facebook and TikTok and all the places nowadays in the whole world. I remember Chabad of Jamaica were reaching out to host Nissim Black, and please God, we would love Emuna Torah to go viral and go worldwide. Thank God we have a great set of Rabbanim, a great set of inspirational people. Plus, I said I'd like to combine it with creative people, with musicians, as we tried on the Emuna Torah 2019. But Emuna Torah 2020, we'd like it to be even bigger. So this light can go everywhere, into all the different places out there, into concerts. We'd like to do a massive day in Mexico. I'm going to reach out after the class to the people in Mexico, do a big concert there. We'd like to do big things. But remember, it's all got to come from that place within. No matter how big we get on an outer level. We have to remember, and that's what Yud Tet Kislev yesterday was all about from Chabad. Lubavitcher Sfarim was all about that inner light, that Chochmah Bina Das, the inner spiritual wisdom that comes from the higher places. And once again, the goal is to bring it down to the most lowest places, to elevate. The Yud of Yosef goes into the Sof, all the way down into the lowest places, and that tzaddik, that spiritual light, that little bit of spirituality that enters into this world is able to bring so much light, like a little fire can light up all the cash, all the straw from Esav, as it says, base Esav Lakash. But who is the fire? Base Yosef is the Eish Lahova from Yaakov. He comes, this fire of spirituality and soul and warmth and light, and gives us the strength to overcome our challenges. So let's be real. For example, people are having challenges every day with emotional issues. People want to be able to think and speak and feel and act in a spiritual, inspired way, and yet it's so hard. People feel so prevented. I know personally it's a real thing. Like every day people wake up and it's such a struggle just to say thank you Hashem for life, thank you for another day, and then all the things that they have to do and all the pain from the past and all the different challenges that we're all going through on a real level in this generation, as we see politically and spiritually. Thank God there's good news here and there, but bottom line is it's very big struggle time. And all of us are having this challenge. So how do we bring out that inner creative light that's going to light up those places of pain, those places of darkness? How's it going to create that creative energy that we have the power to create new opportunities, to create new vessels for wealth, for blessings, to be able to inspire the family, the people we love, to be dedicated to the people we love, to give that connection? How do we get that connection point, like we spoke last week, in terms of the source? How do we bring it out from that source from that inner reality, into our daily lives, so that Hanukkah this year, 2019, can be elevated, not just on a half an hour moment where we light the menorah and we pray a little bit, but to actually affect how we see life, how we experience life, how we speak about life, to speak different, to speak with more praise, like Rav Arush always says, to thank Hashem more. And thank you Hashem is a growing concept in the world now, to really have thanks, but also to say thank you to people, to say thank you just to, as Rav Arush said many times to me, I was on the Torah anytime, so thank you Eli. He didn't just thank Hashem, he thanked Hashem. I felt like everything was Hashem with him, but he at the same time he said thank you Eli. He was able to say thank you, and it's really important that we notice the people around us, how much they do. Like, for example, right now we're still in this older place where we've been recording in Chutz Chesed. We're in Breslev, Israel. We're part of their organization, and we're thanking them for they giving us these resources. But the good news is we're going to expand. We're going to go upstairs, building a new center to do all our video and audio. So it's going to be a whole different level. The quality of the sound, everything's going up. It's going to improve all our videos. So we thank Hashem that there was the money, the support, the donations, the hard work from the Orish family and the people involved in it, Daga, all the different people involved. They're building this resources so we can do better quality videos, so that the location and this quality, the sound, and we're able to keep up with a world that's just developing and innovating. So we're up there, we're able to communicate in a realistic way. And then the light from within, just like the menorah shines out to the world, we're now able to do that through our Torah teachings, our Emuna, through all our other spiritual stuff. So, I could go on and on about this concept, but what I want to do is just like remind everyone that we are hoping to host the Emuna Tour 2020. But we need people out there to offer the hosting. We have to have communities like in LA. We were interested to go to, say, Atlanta. There's been some outreach to us. We'd have London and Manchester, South Africa. But then people out there need to actually contact and make it happen. That means they need to reach out. Mexico City already are interested, and hopefully we already go back again, make a big event there. Hopefully we'll somehow get to South America, bring Rav Yonatan Galed, and Rav Arush, and please God translating again with Rav Elgad in English. Please God, we'll be able to make these kind of events, but we need you guys out there to reach out to us so that we can do that mission of the menorah, of the Hanukkah light, to spread that light into the darkness of our lives, so we can do our role fully our mission, which is to get this light out there. And that's once again also with the music, with the creative projects that we're involved with. We, please God, will have more music so we can be able to pay the musicians like Nissan Black to be able to perform. And you can see people like new bands that we've got working with and other amazing people like Unity Inspires projects like I'm working on personally. We should have that ability to join up and collaborate with larger organizations like with Chabad and Aish and Orsameach and all the other large organizations putting out a lot of content. We should work together, and all the individuals that we have worked here in the past, like Rabbi Brody and Dror Moshe Kasuta, and all the different people that have ever worked here in the past, they should all come together somehow. It should be collaboration, the BRI. Everyone in some way should work together, because in the end it's one light. It's Hashem's light. It's the light of Hanukkah. It's the light of the neshama, of the soul, of Torah, of spirituality. And that was the challenge, say with Yehuda. Now Yehuda, his challenge was he went out into the business world. And we know business, like from experience, is a little bit, you have to have a contract, you have to protect yourself, you have to make sure there's, everything is organized in the right way and done in the right proper spirit with values. But it has to be done in a way a little bit based on the concern that it won't work out, that there is issues. And we saw with Yehuda, he went out there and the woman he chose ended up, both his sons died when on the time of connection, and then he himself ended up being with her. And from there comes the light of Mashiach. Such a dark, seemingly wrong experience, came out the light of Mashiach. So how would we know how to judge anybody ever? Because everything has potential to bring out light if it's done with the true intentions, the true values, the true goals. And even in business, we don't always know exactly like what decision to make, how far to go, in terms of the boundaries of halacha, of rules, of Torah. And there's this amazing light in this parsha where we see from the darkness comes light. We have to be careful, obviously, we seek out spiritual advice, how to deal with this. But the point is that come out from Yehuda, when he was Sodka Mimeni, that he was able to agree that she was more righteous, Tamar, and that he was able to agree in his humility. His name is Hodah, to give thanks, to agree, to admit that someone was more righteous than him, that someone was able, that this lady that was able to actually bring out something good from him. And from there came out the light of Mashiach, the seed of Mashiach, the children of Mashiach, that will bring Mashiach, David HaMelech and Shlomo Melech and all the different holy, righteous people that came from that family. And we see that from darkness came light. And it's in this week's parsha, just before Hanukkah. And that is one of the purposes, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai said, of creation, to bring out from the darkness light. And that goes every day in business. Every day you have opportunities, how to react with people, how to be more of a mensch, how to be more kind and understanding, and at the same time make sure your business interests are protected. That getting that balance and that value systems that we spoke about in previous classes, bringing it into reality so that we can have a win-win environment, an environment of synergy, joining with others. And that's something which all of us can aspire for, much more unity, much more collaboration. And Hanukkah really is about unifying Yosef and Yehuda, the two main heads of Mashiach ben Yosef, Mashiach ben David, these two kingly people, to unite all the tribes, to unite the world at large through this light. Once there's light in the room, people feel more happy, they're able to communicate, they're able to connect. Rubi or Rubi Simcha, as it says in Halacha, make more light, make more joy, it makes more shalom. The whole idea of lighting Hanukkah licht is to remind us of the miracle, lighting the candles of Hanukkah, but there's also the candles of Shabbat, which is kodem, the light of Hanukkah. It's more important, it's adif. So we have to understand that shalom bayis, having shalom in your home, is even more important than Hanukkah. Even the miracle of advertising to the world is to have shalom within, to have shalom with your wife. Like Aaron Cohen, this was his will. His will was that all the Jewish people, every single person, and we'll end on this, should reach that level of becoming a Kohen Gadol, becoming the holiest of holies. And that would bring light to the whole world, to all the nations, that we would light up the world. How do we do that? That every single person lights a menorah. Every single person, even if they're not lighting the menorah, has connection to lighting the menorah. They're part of the family. They're part of the experience. And that ability to light up this world every Hanukkah and learn in these pastures about turning darkness into light. This gives us connection to Aaron Cohen's will, that we should bring everything to spirituality ultimately. Everything physical, every donut, every latka, everything, all the music world, all that creativity, all that talent, all that music should have a connection back to its source of spiritual purpose, of value, of inspiration. And that therefore will affect everything we're doing. When we light the menorah, we're lighting up our minds, our hearts, our souls, so we can think more clear. We can speak more praiseworthy, more thankful, more gracious, more kind, more gently, more validating, more real. And that will give us the power, therefore, to make this world a better place and to live and build a base of English, please God. This base of English will have the third time of lighting up the whole world. The lights, the windows go outward in the base of English. This idea, the third temple, the windows will put the light of the menorah outwards to the world, so the whole world will light up with inspiration and spirituality. That is our prayer, that we end every class, because we want the world to be a spiritual place, an amazing, happy place, a positive, peaceful place, a place where you can feel comforted and loved, a place where you can be together with your family. And we should keep praying for that, bringing it out in everything we do. Everyone can join and partner with this now. Emuna Torah, Emuna is our future, and all the things we're doing together, everyone can be joined up with us. Thank you for listening. I apologize for the length of the class, but I'm looking forward with this inspiration, this renewed inspiration. And the next week we'll be in Hanukkah already with Halal V'Hodah. Baruch Hashem. Thank you for all your support and listening, and please share this on with Mashiach Sekenu, with the Bayah Shlishim, and Behavior Menu. Amen.